So I have played through the first DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but was it any good? Let's find out. Upon entering the academy we were met with this lady named Briar. After becoming the Pokemon champion I thought school was over, but apparently I still need to go to school and go on some trip to another school. Why would the champion still require such trips? Surely I am mature enough to just go there all on my own, right? Well, a long flight and bus ride later we set foot on this new island. It's good to see that the teacher is checking if everyone is here after all these rides and not earlier. We got a small introduction to the new town we entered. And of course, since we are trainers, these kids immediately want to fight. But since they are not even bothering evolving their Pokemon, we one-shot them all. Like, she's even surprised we were able to beat her Pokemon? What would you expect with a level 60 unevolved Poochyena? After a quick tour around town by this old man, he apparently also gave me the Roto stick. Now the other kid also wants to fight. Why are they unable to evolve their Pokemon on this island? Since we are new here, the local kid we just destroyed showed us a few important places around the island. Like this sign. And of course, since we are exchange students of some sort, we have to take a picture of everything, even though not everyone seems to like it. Usually when going to your next destination, you follow something that represents anything close like a road. But the mountains seemed more fit to me, so I took the mountains to my next destination. What do you mean you're following at a distance? Did you fly close by the mountains to keep an eye on me? Picture time! At least he seems a bit more interested this time. Now we have to get back into the mountains. Kieran is not very efficient now, is he? Of course we take the best route I could think of. I'm sorry, what narrow path? Another battle. At least he managed to evolve his Pokemon this time. Not that it matters. Later that day he introduced us to his family also, where they told us about some festival later that night. They gave me some new clothes and gave me a haircut I didn't ask for. But before we go we must battle again. I wonder if they ever come close to being a challenge. Upon entering the festival we were met with a nice cozy cutscene. And apparently also one of the new legendary Pokemon appeared. That's a lot quicker than I expected. While on the festival we got to do some minigame. We had to collect some balloon berries, but that wasn't the worst here. The game started lagging even worse than I've ever seen in Paldea itself on launch. Apart from the crashes maybe. I had really hoped this would be fixed in the DLCs. Especially this long after the release of those DLCs. It seems they are not. Hopefully we won't see anything worse in the second DLC. At least we got the experience charm after doing all of this. We actually got a small interaction early on, just like Miraidon and Koraidon at the start of Scarlet and Violet. After it ran away, Kieran wanted to know what we were up to behind the festival tents. Because we are all grown-ups, surely we will tell Kieran you bumped into the ogre, right? No, of course not. We shouldn't share such findings with our friends. Huh? You want me to show that thing I have? Sure, here's my stick, Grandpa. Guess she doesn't like my stick. Grandpa luckily knows everything about the mask and told us everything we need to know. That this whole island is living a big lie. 10 out of 10 story. After another climb over the mountains we met at the last sign. But before we take another photo, Kieran wants to fight again. Who needs a Pokemon Center when you have Kieran on your side 24/7? In the meantime, Grandpa tried to repair the mask we found. But he needs one last material. Some sort of crystal it seems. So we retrieved the crystal around a pool at the top of the mountain and went back to Grandpa. Only to find out that Kieran took the mask and ran off because we lied to him. Who would have guessed he didn't like the lying part? Well, Kieran just went insane. But his will to battle me whenever he sees an opportunity will never stop it seems. Haha, bonk. He never learns. Because we won the battle, he gave back the mask to us so Grandpa can restore it. But since Kieran lost his cool and punched the statue gave birth to 3 Pokemon. They just, ran away? Sure, we'll be going after them. The only issue is that the town still thinks they are the loyal 3. So they gave them literally everything. After searching for a bit, we found them bullying Ogerpon. But after defeating one of them, they ran away again. Well, time to search for them again and retrieve those 3 masks. After defeating all 3 of them and retrieving the stolen mask, we went back to the town with Ogerpon, where luckily everyone finally knew the real story behind these Pokemon. Ah yes, a happy ending to the story. Of course, while dropping off the Ogerpon, he doesn't want to leave me. So we will have to battle him and capture him to really end the story. Kieran wants to fight again, but this time for who gets Ogerpon. Still no match for us since we are the Paldea League champion. There is apparently one more quest we can do in this DLC, which is battling Carmine with Ogerpon. You are indeed forced to use Ogerpon in this battle. Luckily he is at least the same level as her Pokemon. Now that we are really done here with everything story related, we could wrap up the video here and give our final thoughts. But the collectors we are, we aim for 100% Pokedex completion, including the living Pokedex in Pokemon Home. 7 new Pokemon were added with this DLC. Of course, we already had Ogerpon, so we can skip that one. I went first after Okidoki, Munkidori, and Fazant DPT. What a horrible name for a Pokemon. Well, it took me close to an hour to get this trio. They weren't fond of my Ultra Balls. For the last 3 non-legendary Pokemon, I started off with Diplin. 2 of them seems to need a special item to evolve. So I got these syrup apples in the southeast of the island, where you can also find Applin apparently, just next to the vending machine. I immediately evolved Applin into Diplin. This seems to be the easiest of the 3 to get. Poltergeist is found a bit more north from where we were. From what I saw, it could be anywhere technically around this area, but I had the most luck in the north it seems. At this time I already found the unremarkable teacup to evolve Poltergeist, so that is Sinistia also added to the list. Now that I am done with capturing all the newly added Pokemon in this DLC, we can finally say that we are fully done here. Now, how great was this DLC actually? Especially compared to the base game. To be honest, I really liked the festival and the idea behind it. The island was actually pretty nice to explore around in my opinion, and I definitely liked the story around here. The only negative thing I can actually think of was the minigame where we started lagging quite a bit again. But outside of the minigame I experienced no lag luckily. So that's at least some kind of improvement. Still not acceptable in my opinion. But who knows, maybe the second DLC doesn't even have lag. That's our goal at this point. And if you want to see how well the second DLC did, make sure to subscribe to get a notification whenever I'm ready with that video. Of course, give the video a like if you liked the video and comment down below on which of the newly added Pokemon you enjoyed the most. Or what your opinion is about the first DLC. Of course, I hope I see you all in the next one. Bye bye!